Hey, gang. Big day today. Got some neighbors that are going to. Why is this echoing now? My phone has taken a dump, less than a year old. And I'm becoming less and less happy with Apple. I miss Steve Jobs. My phone is vibrating right now. I can't tell you why. There, it stopped. I might have been getting a call. I can't see that I'm getting calls. Yeah, I really want to throw it against a wall. There's nothing that open settings. My settings are open. Now what? Yep, this is. This is a brick. I can't access anything. It doesn't let me. Let me see if I can call the station. The phone number isn't even programmed in here anymore. Yeah, this thing's a brick. Oh, now it looks like it's calling because I can see it coming up over there, but it doesn't look like it's calling here. I'm getting that vibrating feeling. It's like it's vibrating. And I tried to go, I can't access Chatter, one of the platforms that we're supposed to be on. I can't access the mic to get on to Clubhouse. It says, please allow microphone usage from settings, open settings, and there's nothing there. I can't scroll to anything. So try to shut it off again. That was a chore last night. I tried to back it up. What happened was I'm going through a bunch of different things personally that I'm evaluating and deciding whether or not I really need. One of the things I decided against was the extra 2 terabytes of storage on Apple. That was apparently a mistake. All right. So now we're working on getting it back. And I'm just realizing we're not on yet in one of our. I'm working on getting it back, and I resubscribed yesterday, and it didn't take. I don't know how else to say it. It didn't. I still was running out of storage. So I tried to. Now I can't shut it off. I tried to. Back it up, and it was stuck, and said that it was going to be like 3 hours. Like, no. 5G 5G data and 2G Wi-Fi, super fast Wi-Fi, should not be going like this. So this thing's nothing more than a brick right now. It was supposed to be like 3 hours to back up. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not right. And it just was sitting there stuck. So I canceled it and tried to do it again, and that's when things went bad. Yeah, since for about 20 years, I've been an Apple guy. My first Apple product was one of my desktop computers back when I lived in San Francisco. The guy I was dating at the time, his friend worked at Apple, and they used his employee discount to get me my first machine. Uh, I had a PC, a Hewlett Packard data center. It was where you just press a button and it connects to your TV. You know, it was the smart TV system of the day. And I watched TV through my computer. Well, that after maybe 2 years, took a dump and died. And the guy that I was seeing at the time hooked me up with his buddy, and they hooked me up with my first Mac. Loved it. Never looked back. Got my first iPhone a couple years later when I moved to DC. The phone I had up until then was by Palm. Remember Palm Pilots? They had a phone similar to the BlackBerry called the Trio. And I had everything password protected, and it was the same password. And the Trio, like the BlackBerry, didn't have keys on the screen, but instead had an actual keyboard on the phone. And I wore out the keys. That's how much I was on my phone. So I couldn't get any of my data because it was all on a card that was inside the phone that nobody was willing or supposedly able to access. So that got me with the whole syncing thing that Apple does to your, then it was just to your computer at home. There wasn't the cloud yet. This was like 2007. The cloud was coming in, but was much less popular than today. But at least I could put it on my computer at home, which by comparison to the storage, I think the big phone then was 64 gigs. Now it's at least 64 gigs. So you want it to have another place of storage, point being. And this was cool. I'm never going to lose any more contacts. Well, I'm not sure about that. Because I just tried calling us here at the studio from my iPhone. And not so much. So whatever. Steve Jobs, we miss you. Pierre's Pot today is going to be my friend Santino, and neighbor and new board member of the Sea Ranch Civic Association. Their first farmers market, organized by Santino, a younger member of the board. He's probably in his 40s, maybe, which is nice, but he's not retired like I am. So I'm still the kid when it comes to all the retirees. But he noticed that a lot of the programs that are at the association are like silver sneakers, you know, the old people exercise class, cards. They don't even say that it's going to be poker. It's just cards. And I guess they're going to decide as they go. So he has organized today's first farmers market. And if today goes well, they'll do it again every month. That's today, Tuesday, 12 noon Eastern until 4. So if you're in the Pasco County area or Tampa Bay, you can get up into the Nature Coast. Go to US 19 and Sea Ranch Drive. Take Sea Ranch Drive away from 19. It only goes one direction from there, westbound, toward the White Elephants, as they're called, the tall condo buildings that are right on the water, and take that to the end, and you'll see the Sea Ranch Civic Association over to the left on Veronica, on the corner of Veronica and Beverly. I don't know what the actual street address is, but if you just find Sea Ranch, it's only a mile long. It's at the west end of it, and you'll figure it out from there. Morning motivation. You know what? I didn't look that up yet. That's bad. Let's kind of figure that out quick, because it's going to be right after. Here's one for today, and he's actually relevant. I'm going to rename it so I know that I used it. Let's see, it's 25. 11. I keep doing that. I know that it's 25, and I just am in the habit of typing 24. That's for the date. Today's morning motivation is Drake. Now, why is that relevant? Because the ex-wifey did a surprise thing with his arch enemy at the Super Bowl. Am I getting that right? Serena Williams is Drake's ex-girlfriend. I don't think they actually were married. But he and Kendrick Lamar are not friends. So as a snub, he brings her on. Am I getting that right? I'm piecing it together at the best, because I really don't care. But Drake says, you win some, you lose some, as long as the outcome is income. And that's relevant for the guys today who are organizing the farmers market. They're trying it out and see what's happening. It's their first one. I've talked to a bunch of people already. It was too late for them to join today, but they're definitely interested. My gym wants to come by, some other people. And yeah, I just looking forward to see something for us younger people. And I'm huge on buying local, not just food. If it's an actual farmer's market and people have food to sale, but also I pay a little extra and go to one of the local hardware stores if I can avoid going to Home Depot. Not that I don't want to go to Home Depot. It's just that I would rather go to the local place. And those are local jobs that you're supporting. Those are neighbors. So, yeah. And maybe I'm going to lose some by paying a little extra more. A little extra more. Or how about just a little more or a little extra? A little extra more would be a lot more. Right? But yeah, you win some, you lose some, as long as the outcome is income. So join us today, 12 noon till 4, Sea Ranch Civic Association. It's in 45 minutes. I mean, you don't have to be there right at the beginning unless you get a table. I think it's 15 for inside and 20 for outside. I mean, that's huge. That's easy. If you got some startup that you just want to spend the $20 to get pamphlets and put your sign up for 4 hours, it's $5 an hour of exposure. Next time, I'm hoping to have the Mastiff Media minivan wrapped. We'll be there. I don't know how we're going to broadcast if my phone is still effed up, but we'll be there. I got to take a break. When we come back, Pierre's Pot, tell you a little bit about Santino, who's organizing today's farmers market, and then we'll get into the political stuff of the day. 99.1 WDJY, America One Radio, both in Atlanta. Down here in Florida at Pineland is WZQR, and the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back right after this. What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching, dunk tanks, sauna, everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off. You can scream. You can yell. And you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum. Hey, what's in your wallet? Well, I'll tell you what's in mine, and it should be in yours. Capital One. My credit card with Capital One has $0 fraud liability for any unauthorized use. Zero. Flexible due dates. Look in your wallet. See if it's there. Or go to my Facebook page and click on the affiliate link. You get checked for pre-approval. You can apply for the card and enjoy. Sea Ranch Civic Association. We're in the area for today's farmers market. Stop in. I don't know what happened to my affiliates list over here. I gotta fix some things here. Sea Ranch Civic Association is revamping. They've been rebuilding since Hurricane. Let's see, which one was it? Helene, this most recent. Lots of the golf cart every Friday. Maybe it's just the first Friday. I gotta look on the calendar. You can go to SRCA. My SRCA. And in fact, I'll take you there right now. There we go. Maybe not. Where do I have it? I went over top of it. Damn it. Well, trust me. Go to my, as in like yours, my SRCA. I'll put it up on the screen. Those of you listening, I'll say it a couple times. .com. It's in Pasco County, Florida. And good social organization. I like it. You know, it's my neighborhood group. And today they have their first farmers market. They're doing a bunch of other things that they're going to start trying, especially once the building is back together. So check that out. Go to mysrca.com. It's like $20 for a membership for a year. You don't have to live in the neighborhood. So for those of you that are close by, check that out. Join us today, 12 noon to 4. And I'll see you there. So I got to do Pierre's pot first, but then, well, is there a rant? Is there a rant? Pierre's pot today. Santino, new board member to the Sea Ranch Civic Association Board of Directors. Today, in honor of Pierre Robert, 93.3 WMMR, Philadelphia, a radio DJ hero of mine. He's one of my top 10. In fact, he's in my top 5. He's been there since 1981. We do as he does, a toast of the morning sauce, coffee. And one of my favorite mugs today, too. Today, it's in the direction of our good citizen, an honored listener, Santino, for putting together today's farmer's market. Good luck with that today, and kick ass and get it all filled up so we can have one of these each and every month on the whatever Tuesday this is. I think it's the second Tuesday of the month, right here in Pasco County. Here's to you. Good job. So up next, and this is probably going to wrap up the next 45 minutes, is Donnie. I just don't get this, guys. What is the appeal of this guy? It is the president's job to enforce the law. I know that's very general. I know it's very broad. But that's what he does. And I say he because right now we've come close, but we've not yet had a lady president, even though we've had a lady vice president. I'm going to put that in the QR codes too. So, Sea Ranch Civic Association, QR code up at the top corner of the screen. That's the email address or the web address that I talked about earlier. Donnie. According to Reuters, Trump is asking a U.S. court to end judicial overreach and allow funding freezes. No! This is the process, Donnie. When you violate the law that you're supposed to be enforcing, the court steps in and says, hey, asshole, knock it off. And for you, they do it twice. Because apparently your ignorant ass doesn't hear it the first time. Or arrogant, ignorant ass. Fat, arrogant, ignorant ass. But I mean, seriously, dude. Who do you think you are? I just met a new fellow broadcaster on... Oh, this reminds me, I got pulled over the other day. My stickers on my car aren't updated. I got to get that done. Anyway, I just saw something on you'll see it in a second as soon as I just met this guy, fellow broadcaster, older dude, also former, like us now, um, at WTAN. And, oh, what is that? How do you get rid of that now? Are you kidding me? Oh, some of these browsers, man, I don't get it. President Donald Trump's administration has asked an appeals court to put on hold a U.S. judge's decision forcing it to comply with his order barring it from freezing federal grants, loans, and other financial assistance, saying the decision constituted intolerable judicial overreach. Yeah, for you, but not for the people that voted for you that are supposed to be getting that money right now. In one of my posts on Facebook, which is what this guy got all upset about, was F Trump and F you for voting for him. Now, I'll admit the maggots of the world stole that one first, or used that one first, and we stole it from the maggots. Is they used that on F Biden and F you for voting for it, and that's been a bumper sticker for 4 years. But, and I want to talk to this guy because he used to be at WTAN, and he left for many of the same reasons we did. And I want to see where he's at now. Maybe I can get a better situation. But then, after accepting my friend request, he saw that post and said something about how his two older brothers taught him not to use that word, that if you're smart enough, you don't have to. My argument is, sometimes, and we're talking about the F word now, sometimes there are just those situations where, with, as George Carlin would say, 400,000 words in the English language. And just sometimes there's not enough. And he would say the same thing, he says, if I used that post about Biden. Well, I don't care who it's about. Those who feel they have to say that about Biden, okay, I don't agree with that. I think Biden was had his issues, but he's head and shoulders better than this guy. And like I said, sometimes that's all you got is that word. And I told him, I said, if you knew what I knew, and I don't think he knows what I used to do for a living yet, I'll reach out to him. I'm going to have to do it on here because I can't use Facebook Messenger on my phone. Oh, I mean, that's what's going to happen is I'm going to wind up going to the Verizon store after I stop at this farmer's market after the show today. And we'll see what they can do. Anyway, I don't get this guy. The U.S. Department of Justice asked the Boston-based First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals late on Monday to put on hold an order that a Rhode Island federal judge issued earlier that day, after finding the administration had defied his January 31st ruling by continuing to withhold billions of dollars in federal funding. Monday's order marked the first time since Trump returned to office on January 20th that a court had found his administration was violating a court order, blocking part of the Republican president's agenda. The Justice Department said U.S. District Judge John McConnell had improperly attempted to wrest power from Trump, whose authority to direct agencies to carry out actions consistent with his policy was well settled. No, I probably wasn't, but okay. The state of affairs cannot be allowed to persist for one more day. That just, oh, wow. I love how they write things like that and they make it sound so dire. You're right. It can't be allowed one more day. Distribute the damn money. A stay pending appeal is warranted. But a group of Democratic state attorneys general argued that if McConnell's order was paused, Trump, quote, would immediately be free to resume his sweeping and illegal policy, harming those who rely on federal funding. Yeah, I can't wait till all these people who get free lunches or breakfasts for their kids and rely on that to be 5 of the meals for the week no longer get that and have to pay for that themselves. Those who voted for T-Rump. Those Democratic attorneys general from 22 states and the District of Columbia had sued after the White House's Office of Management and Budget issued a memo announcing a freeze that implicated trillions of dollars in spending. OMB later withdrew that memo, but McConnell had concluded that a temporary restraining order was still necessary because of evidence that a funding freeze remained in effect and that OMB's rescission of the memo was in name only. The Democratic state attorneys general on Friday urged McConnell to enforce that order, saying the administration had taken the position that it could still withhold billions of dollars in infrastructure and environmental funding under the Inflation Reduction Act and the Infrastructure Improvement and Jobs Act, both Biden acts, by the way. McConnell, and this is not Mitch McConnell, by the way, this is the judge, an appointee of Democratic former President Barack Obama, said on Monday his earlier order was clear and unambiguous and barred all categorical pauses or freezings in federal funding. But this is so much of what I can't get and don't understand. You people that voted for these people, J.D. Vance said it. He said that if a court rules against us, we're just going to ignore it. How do you vote for that and call yourself an American? Because you're not. Turn your red hat into a red shirt and be the commie that you are. Don't call the liberals commies. You are. And I know that's the left side of the spectrum, but you're definitely fascist. This is what a fascist does. Don't argue with me, Blake. This is what a fascist does. They threaten a legislature like he's been doing and has done. Why do you think somebody like Kevin McCarthy is against some of the things he's been doing? Goes down to visit him in Mar-a-Lago. And all of a sudden, he's for the president. I want to know what this guy has on everybody. Let him try that with me. I almost dropped the S word there. But let him try that with me. The Secret Service did it, and I won 3 times. And I'll tell you what, Donnie, you're a bigger pussy than they are. Oh, I got to take another break. Look at that. All right. One more break, then we'll come back. I'll finish bitching. And, yeah. We'll see what else he's screwing up today. Phew. Wow. All right. 99.1 WDJY, America One Radio, ZQR Talks, and the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after these words. What's that smell? In my studio, it's Aroma by Peter. Scented wax candles with long-lasting wicks that make your place smell amazing. And don't worry, guys. Plenty of scents for you too. For us too. So go to aromabypeter.com. Biz Growth Collective. Is that back up? Yeah. Check out the Biz Growth Collective. If you're tired of LinkedIn like I was, well, I mean, I'd still be on it if I wasn't kicked off. If you're tired of LinkedIn like I am, if you're tired of that being a Facebook for a bunch of executives that think they know every damn thing, you actually want to network, go to Biz Growth Collective, the bizgrowthcollective.com, or the QR code that's on your screen. Register your business. If you're a startup, if you want to be a startup, they'll help you register your business with Florida. If you're not in Florida, that's okay. Message me. I'll put my email up there, our group, our team email. News, NEWZ, at Yergz.com. Yergz, YERGZ.com. And we'll get you set up. I'm doing a multitasking. Not a good idea. We'll get you set up with our address here. Or maybe a P.O. box, something like that. We'll figure it out. But definitely get on the Biz Growth Collective. Go to bizgrowthcollective.com and get your account set up. There's all kinds of things. I'm never going to try. I got to figure this out this week because I'm actually supposed to be broadcasting the show from there. And it's been a while since I've had another meeting with the CEO. But I just found something else we got to look at. So bizgrowthcollective.com. We will let that up there so you can scan it later. If you're not in Florida, hit me up, news, NEWZ at Yergz.com. We'll get you hooked up. But I just found another story, two other stories we got to talk about in the remaining 16 minutes that we got. Actually, really remaining 12 minutes we got because I got plugs to do by the end of the show. I got to be out of here on time today. All right, so let's look at this. No, I want to do that. There we go. And the hashtag, take back the flag. Here we go. And you can see it. I think that's another thing we're going to do is I'm going to use a different hashtag each day. Encouraging you to use it as well. So 2 stories I want to talk about real quick. First one, Donald Trump shuts down the idea as a successor for president. This is the first I'm seeing this. I heard something yesterday that he threw Vance under the bus, but I didn't hear how or why or over what or with whatever. This is key. This is awesome. This is crazy, actually. Donald Trump has said that he does not view J.D. Vance as a successor and declined to endorse him in 2028. I told you. Do you know what this is getting to? Oh, I should take my elbow off the desk before I start shaking. Kind of does the same thing to the camera. He thinks he's going to get a third term. That's why he's the first president in history to not endorse his vice president as a successor? If they would have the opportunity to. Kennedy, for example, was shot. He didn't really have a choice. He didn't have an opportunity. I don't know what the hell's going on in that photo. But there J.D. Vance is licking the boots. The president said that it is too early to give his backing to vice president, despite him doing a, quote, fantastic job. Speaking to Fox News in a segment of a Super Bowl interview that is set to air tonight, the president was asked if Vance would be his first pick to be the Republican nominee in 2028. No, but he's very capable. I think you have a lot of very capable people. He's putting his family in there. He's putting somebody that he can have direct control and influence over. So far, I think he's doing a fantastic job. It's too early. We're just starting. No, you're not. You're halfway through, dude. That's the point. This guy has no clue. He doesn't get it. He's already a lame duck. However, Trump deflected from the question. He said, a lot of people have said that it's so hard reading his quotes. The guy doesn't use normal English. Oh. A lot of people have said that this has been the greatest opening. Yeah, they're ignorant. They think you breaking the law is okay. And let's talk about a lot of people. Many of your supporters, the initial voters, no longer support you. And even then, you had best 33% roughly of the entire American population. Because more than another third didn't vote in the first place, which is the real problem with our country. Getting people off their ass and preventing them from being disenfranchised by your party. Kicker is, he's right. J.D. Vance is a horrible candidate. And here's something that we shouldn't have to put in, because every American should know this. But we're putting it in because he's making it an issue because he wants to change it. And the last line of the story is, in 2029, Trump is constitutionally obligated to leave office following his second term. Well, as I've been telling you for 8 years now, he wants a third term. And now, as I've been telling you, his crony from Tennessee is trying to make that happen. Trump set to ban drag queens as part of making arts great again. Prince Albert takes picture with Trump. Is he the sex fiend? I know the jewelry, but that's not the same Prince Albert. Which one is this? Oh, not the one. Oh, I'm thinking of Prince Andrew. Yeah, I'm thinking of Prince Andrew is the guy that he probably knows from the Epstein compound. All right, what was the other one? Here we go. Completely false. House lawmaker dismantles Elon Musk's latest spending claim. Really? Completely false. You think? Rep. Jerry Nadler, Democrat from New York, had a blistering and thorough takedown of tech billionaire Elon Musk's latest claims about supposed mismanagement of federal funds. On Monday, Musk said his Department of Government Efficiency task force uncovered a serious example of financial misconduct in the federal government. The supposed siphoning of funds from the Federal Emergency Management Agency to house quote unquote illegals in high end hotels. This was debunked months ago. And he still is finding this? What's the matter, Elon? You're not finding anything else? The Doge team just discovered that FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal immigrants. Well, I don't know. I don't really have a calendar handy, Elon. But wasn't your boy in charge of FEMA last week? Just curious. Sending this money violated the law and is in gross insubordination to the president's executive order. That money is meant for American disaster relief, which I still didn't get, by the way, Elon. Why don't you get on that and make yourself useful? And instead of being spent on high-end hotels for illegals, a clawback demand will be made today to recoup those funds. However, Musk's characterization of the funding in quest was incorrect, Nadler wrote in a reply. This is completely false. In 2019, President Trump expanded FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to help local governments offset the cost associated with migrant assistance. I'm trying to hold up. There we go. Furthermore, this funding is strictly separate from FEMA's disaster relief funds and can't be diverted. In October 2024, Speaker Johnson confirmed to Fox News that these are different programs that have different funding. Also, Nadler wrote, yeah, so where's Speaker Johnson? Hey, Johnson, stop being a Johnson and do your job. Why don't you speak up and say, no, we handled this already, Elon, you're good. Go back to blowing stuff up on an, what do they call it, early termination? When a rocket blows up before it's supposed to? Yeah, it's called blowing up, dumbass. Ugh, I'm going to have a stroke. Also, Nadler wrote Musk incorrectly characterized this funding to New York City as a secret illegal payment he just uncovered. Congress had already appropriated $650 million for the program for fiscal year 2024. He reminded the billionaire. So far, Musk's quest to unearth fraud in the federal government has yielded mixed results at best. He has claimed to unearth widespread fraudulent payments from the Treasury Department through invalid Social Security numbers, but appears to have overstated the extent that it's happening. And there were already programs in place policing that activity. Until 17 of them were fired. Most of the other examples of fraud, in quotes, he has unearthed appear to be just expenses for legal federal programs he doesn't agree with. And Doge has so far operated with extremely limited transparency. Speaking of which, in the last 16 seconds that we have for this segment, well done today, Yergz. Right on time. We're going to share this as well. It's the Capitol switchboard. Get on the phone. Mine doesn't work right now, so I need you to get on for me. 202 224 3121. Call your senators. Call your congressman or woman, your representative. And it doesn't matter what party. Gus Bilirakis here in Florida needs to hear it too. This guy needs to stop. You want to talk about saving money that's being wasted? Send this guy back to Tesla. Back to the Vance story. Ken says, let them fight among themselves. Trump versus Vance. Yeah. I mean, it's not like the Republican Party. I mean, they've been doing that, and that didn't stop them from winning the White House, unfortunately. But, yeah, I don't get. I've been saying one of my catchphrases that went viral in a TikTok video, I think. You no longer have to be able to spell Google to be able to use it. For those of us that are old enough, back in the day, all of 20 years ago, not even, you had to type into the web browser google.com. Now you just type into the browser whatever question you got. So there's no excuse for you people to be this ignorant in supporting this. This is not okay. This is not American. This is not a democratic republic or democracy, if you want to call it that. Get off your fat beer drinking asses. Nope, it's not up there anymore. And call your congressman. Call your senators. Make yourself useful. In the, what do we got? 6 minutes? I want to remind you today that I'll be at the Sea Ranch Civic Association Farmers Market starting in about 6 minutes. Probably already underway. I mean, everybody's set up. If you're set up, you're set up. Let's go. Knock this out. 4 hours today, the very first one. Go to Sea Ranch. What is it? Drive? Avenue? Boulevard? I don't even know what it is. I think it's Drive. The actual building is on Veronica Drive, and I think they're both drives. But go to Sea Ranch and 19. There's a Circle K on the corner. Turn west, depending on what direction you're coming from. Get off of 19 and pass. You'll pass the Circle K on your left and just keep going. Don't stop. Go a mile towards the water till you can't go anymore. You'll either turn left or you'll go into the parking lot for the condos. Turn left, that's Veronica, and right there on the right-hand side is the Sea Ranch Civic Association, where today's farmers market, first ever, is going to be 12 noon to 4. I'll be in a blue long sleeve t-shirt. Bimini Bay Outfitters is written down the sleeve and across my left chest. I'll be running around there and at the Verizon store. So, yeah. I was thinking in bed last night about my piece for the Boyertown Area Expression. If you want to get a hold of Jane Stahl, or just check out what's happening in our hometown. There's a lot of good non news stories in there too, like these essays that community members are going to write. Go to Boyertown Area Expression.town.news. Boyertown is BOYERTOWN. Area Expression.town.news. And follow these different pieces as each of us write them and contribute. You can also get Jane Stahl by going to studiobbb.org. That's the art studio that she manages right on the main drag in our hometown. We don't need that one. Get rid of another one. Check out Derek and Romaine on DNR Studios. Go to dnrstudios.com. Did I say .com? dnrstudios.com. We'll be there later this month, beginning or middle of sometime in the next month. We'll be a part of their lineup. This is a subscription service, but worth every penny. Go to dnrstudios.com. Check that out today. Matt Deemer is available via his daily podcast called Daily Crypto News. You can reach him, Matt, at dailycryptonews.net, and info at deemerforcongress.com. Deemer is DIEMER. A couple times a week, Blake puts out The Homeless Conservative. Go to thehomelessconservative.com. Check out his videos there on YouTube. You can reach him, Blake, at thehomelessconservative.com. You can get us all news, NEWZ, at YERGZ.com. And finally, for more information, show notes, other information, I've got a puppy that's chewing on my arm. Go to Yergz.com or mastiff.media. And we'll get some newer versions of both of those websites up in the next couple of weeks. Finally, again, the Capital Switchboard is 202-224-3121. All right, gang, that is it. I am going to take these gym shorts off and put actual shorts on. And what else was I going to do? I was going to put something up on the screen before we left. I guess that's it. Yeah. All right. So, going to get out of here on time today. I will see you again tomorrow for Translating Trump. Philip Blackett joins. Remember, Wednesdays are now 2 hours. So you'll have me rambling for 2 instead of 1. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for getting off the porch and running with the big dogs. Thanks for going with us up the middle. We'll see you tomorrow.